Oh, hi.
The following is a Logan Lasher Media Collection exclusive. As I shut the door, you don't know where I am, but I am here. So the reason why I use an audio link is because, actually no, let's get my, So the reason why I'm using an audio link is because, frickin', this iMac quality? Don't I sound great right now? Anyway, let's turn off these lights, we won't need them. Welcome to the updated Movie Shack. Here we got the posters for Mario and Shang-Chi right here. Got all the recent DVDs bought all the way down to Oppenheimer over there. Yes, and I'm sorry, but Futurama had to go there because I keep buying cup toppers, and I have a problem with buying cup toppers. And before I get into the film ranking, let me show you around. Here we got the Aquaman 2 bucket. Here we got the Ant-Man bucket. Optimus Prime bucket, little Gwen plushie I bought for $13 my 2024 cup I'll be using, Migration. It was originally Boots and Boots, but you know, it gets old and crummy and dirty. Over here we have the Guardians 3 popcorn vessel. Got a few little thingies around here too, including anyway, now that that's said and done, also got a lanyard from a fan event for a movie you don't know. Anyway, let me tell Jacob I'm here real fast before we start a film ranking, because I'll be doing kind of a slow film ranking. This is probably going to be a part 1 out of everything. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Hello, Tommy. Nice to see you. I noticed some of my boss's friends are here, Gavin and Jacob, so I will let them know I'm doing that as well. Unless if they could text me that I'm here. Anyway, let's actually get started in doing a film ranking. So, as you may have heard, Marvel has had an abysmal year under Disney. I am not surprised, because Disney has had its own fair share of bad stuff recently. Which is why I am here to settle the score. I have seen countless videos this year of an MCU is bad, MCU is good roller coaster, and frankly, I'm sick of hearing it. Which is why I'm doing this film ranking, to show you that it's not all bad. Also, the DCEU ended, so we're going to start with that first before we get to the actual Marvel content. Because whether you like it or not, Marvel Studios is a studio. It's implied in their name now. The MCU is their brand and the studio's their brand. That's like going out to some random studio like MGM and reviewing all the work they've done almost the past 100 years. Like, oh yeah, this is good. No, this is actually pretty bad. No, but this is good. Actually, no, I don't like it. But here's the thing. No, it's still not good. And I'm just aggravated of hearing about it. Hello, Gavin? I don't know, it just aggravates me listening to this roller coaster of shit. Which is why we're just gonna do the tier ranking for the superhero fatigue year we've had. And don't worry, I will get to the Disney and DreamWorks and all the animated ones this year. Don't worry, I will totally get to that. I just need to learn to use TierMaker. over here is a list of DCEU movies, or DCEU movies that came out this year, unfortunately, because I want to do the ones that happened this year because I've seen all the ones this year. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right freaking into it. Starting off with, I don't know, also, let me talk about this tier list. A straight shot of yellow sun, bullets bouncing off my chest, uninterrupted date with Lois. I know, wrong Lois. And drunk in a bar with a 5 o'clock shadow and kryptonite. I can't tell, but I believe that's really good and that's really bad over there. Comments real fast. So we're finally got to get into ranking this shit. Starting off with Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This film was, it was really a one-time watch for me. I saw the first Shazam when the sequel was coming out, and then I actually saw the first one when I was about to see the sequel, and freaking plan on seeing it. Yeah, it's a complicated mess. So, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. What can I say about it? Oh god, I wasn't prepared for this ranking. Yeah, Shazam! Fury of the Gods was an okay movie. Wasn't bad, it wasn't good, it was tolerable. So I'm just gonna put this as the tolerable section for the following reasons. One, it's a film trying to continue the DCEU when the DCEU is already failing. I'm gonna be honest, these films are really good as one-off films, like in their own little universe, not an interconnected universe, because Warner Brothers was just trying to be Marvel. I do remember them saying they just wanted a cinematic universe, much like Marvel's Extent, which that was really bad. And obviously, not a great idea. So Shazam! Fury of the Gods goes into the middle. It's an okay story, one-note villains, pretty good comedy, kind of flat, but okay nonetheless. Next up is Blue Beetle. I know everybody didn't agree with it because it got $3 million less than Shazam 2, but I actually thought it was really good. George Lopez is in this movie, and he's absolutely hilarious. But due to the actual story, it's pretty good, but the comedy is where the movie is saved. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, all 4 people watching. I'm not good reviews, okay? There, I said it. Because I don't go to see a film critically, I go to see a film because I want to see a film. But I figured out this should happen. This stream should happen because I'm sick of the roller coaster shit. And I want it to be like I know nobody's going to listen to me, but I want it to be a better future for these movies. Because let's be honest, it's not gonna be freaking good. I don't even know why these videos are on. Anyway, Blue Beetle is saved because of its comedy. Its hero is quite nice. And I also got the backpack here just to confirm. So yeah, Blue Beetle out of everything might just have to be my favorite DCEU movie this year. What the hell happened? No, everything is okay. Yeah, I say it with proudness. Blue Beetle was my favorite out of the year so far. It's kind of like an underappreciated hit to me, given the fact that it didn't do that good at the box office. But The Flash, ho 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 ho! The Flash is where we get into something else. This is a nightmare. I'm going to put this backpack back. Now we get to The Flash. The Flash. Ouch. This film was okay as well, but it was a one-time watch. Because I kind of got sick, a little bit annoyed at the ending. The whole film was okay. I heard there was like a bunch of backlash going on between the actors. And it just gets an okay review from me. These DC movies, they don't really stick with me as much as the Marvel ones. However, I decided to see all these because now that I've heard James Gunn is in charge of the DCEU or the DCU now and plan to do a soft reboot, I'm quite interested to see how he goes with it. So The Flash is just a one-time watch with me. It was okay at best. However, the ending was... Actually, no, it deserves lower. Because the ending was not really that good. For trying to continue a universe that's already one foot in the grave at this point, you can tell why it went nowhere. And finally, Aquaman 2 was the one that bit the dust. It was the last movie in the DCEU and the first movie that I saw in IMAX. Continuing the DCEU, it doesn't do a great job, but as a standalone movie, it does a phenomenal job. I saw it in IMAX 3D, and it didn't really stick out with me as much as I thought it would, because there were no recliners. It barely felt like it was in 3D. Nothing was really popping off at you. Nothing special. The movie, however, was pretty good. And it was in the IMAX enhanced format. It's a pretty good feature, is what I'm trying to say. It recently just came out, and I've been trying this review to avoid spoilers as much as I can. And I understand if you guys don't agree with my opinions. I understand. I'm not telling you to forcibly watch these movies. I'm telling you to watch the movie just one time. One time. And write your own opinion down. This is the lesson everybody should be taking from this. These movies are okay at best. Not every single one of them is going to be an almighty crowd pleaser. But as long as you enjoy the movies, that's really what I want. You can't just judge by a trailer whether a movie's not going to be good or bad. You have to see it for yourself in order to understand. Which is why Aquaman 2 gets a surprisingly pretty good reaction out of me. Because it did its job well. And it felt like a standalone movie for a universe that was slowly perishing. And there's the final ranking for 2023 ones. If you expect me to rank all these, fine then. Okay, I will for a quick second. This is great. Haven't seen it. Didn't care for it. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. Pretty good. Haven't seen it. Hilarious. Barely remember anything about it. Didn't care to see it. And I know, this big hunk of blue is 4 fucking hours long, as if I have the time and patience for it. Anyway, we're going to take a little intermission before we dive straight into the MCU ones. I need to refill my water bottle, so we're just going to do a quick intermission. I don't know, you might want to grab yourself some popcorn. I'm gonna at least try to go deep into the MCU movies and show this year. So, just give me uno momento. I have returned with the milk. This isn't milk. What the f am I talking about? As I am now ready to review the Marvel movies. In summary for the DCEU, before I step into the Marvel ones, it was an okay batch of films this year. Not great, but okay. For the final 4 films of the DCEU, it wasn't that big an impact. They didn't go into some giant crossover thing, because, to be honest, that universe was all over the place. I couldn't even recall what was happening. I enjoyed it for what it was. The movies were pretty good. And if you want to, you can celebrate them. Shazam Fury of the Gods is now on streaming or DVD, as well as Blue Beetle and The Flash. Aquaman 2 is still in theaters if you want to check it out and experience the last film in the DC Extended Universe. With that being said, let's move on to Marvel. Now, Marvel released 7 things this year. And I know you don't like hearing that, but it's a thing that happened. Marvel is an actual studio now. F this intermission. The intermission is dead now. You hear me? Dead. Finally going to see how our good friends at Marvel is doing. I've heard many stories about why they didn't do so good this year. Now, that isn't under Disney's fault. There is a completely different creative team behind Marvel. And a lot of shit that happened behind the scenes. So you can't blame them. You can only blame you. I have heard so much backlash about the MCU this year. Which, meanwhile, I thought most of the stuff they produced was pretty good to tolerable. There's no good and bad. There is only one way. Not just expect to frickin' immediately think it's horrible just by watching a trailer. With that being said, let's get into what Marvel released this year. Starting with the first one off the list, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I was genuinely intrigued when I saw the trailer. Of course, I had no choice. I was going to see it, whether I wanted to or not, because it's a whole cinematic universe that actually has a story I'm intrigued in and getting closer to a major event possibly barely anybody would care about. Now, you see, when I first watched this movie in the theaters, I thought it was pretty good. But then, throughout those watches, my father enjoys it more than me. Throughout those watches, I genuinely thought it was okay. If you like an Ant-Man film, it's got enough comedy to last you a while. If you want a film that actually continues a universe, it does that. However, it doesn't do its job good. And I'm not going to put it on the don't like section. I'm going to put it on the okay section. It's an okay film. It's doing what it's trying to do. And, the trailers had the false marketing anyways. Wasn't really as good as you thought it was because it was trying to be serious. Let's be honest. These Ant-Man films are comedies. They have always been comedies. Deal with it. Whatever. I'm going to have to go a crap ton. And there's only one person watching. Good. Now you're tired of me hearing react and you're sick of hearing me rant and review. As long as you're getting my lesson here. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is not awful or bad or don't like or okay. It is great. Because it's a solo movie. It is the last part of a trilogy and doesn't feel like it's trying to continue a universe in any specific way imaginable. I get that they are mostly comedies, but I was glad this one took a different tone and decided to go with something much darker instead. Because it was quite sad and interesting to hear his origin story of the raccoon. It genuinely got me caring for him. Like I care for this freaking universe Actually, no. Like, I care for these characters and the worlds they come from. This was a great movie, and it shows because it was not only Disney but Marvel's highest grossing film of that year. And I feel like they deserved every second of it. Secret Invasion, on the other hand, I didn't even care for it. I'm sorry. An MCU project where I actually thought it was bad. I know the universe wasn't gonna die. And it didn't feel like it died with this. But it felt like a show that was not needed in the most specific way possible. The only thing saving this from the awful category is Samuel L. Jackson's little one-offs and like little tidbit jokes and everything. But I digress. I actually thought this was pretty bad. I understood that not everything Marvel was going to be great, but I didn't want to watch every single one of it expecting just a roller coaster of shit to happen. Secret Invasion as a series is kind of like a thriller. It's freaking mystery and all that stuff. Like, who do you trust? However, it quite pissed me off that a bunch of characters, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go into the spoiler territory here, that the bunch of characters were mostly shot, killed. One didn't die, surprisingly, and I was like, well, what the fuck is that? What kind of decision is that? And at the very end of the episode, one thing, we'll just say, don't want to spoil it, gets every single power of the heroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What the shit? This year had a trend. How can we make the strongest imaginable being more stronger than Kang? And then I see the ending, and I'm just like, it's summer, man. Why did you show me this? It has been... in my opinion, I didn't even want to watch this. I couldn't care about it, but I knew I had to because I wanted to continue a giant universe. And I always get excited whenever a Marvel project comes on. However, this just lowered the bar for me. This one show. Nothing else cost it. This one just was bad. Period. I thought the choices they make were horrible. The story was bland, mediocre. But the ending. My God, the ending! It was not needed. My audio on? Good. Which leads us to I Am Groot. I'm not going to say this is a masterpiece or it's great. It's a series of 5 shorts that was announced a month before it was supposed to come out. Out of the blue. Out of the blue. I Am Groot Season 2 is cute. That's why it gets the okay treatment. The shorts with Baby Groot are very cute. And I can't say I like Vin Diesel's voice acting because all he says is I and am and Groot. That's all he says, and he gets $1 million for it. Woohoo! Money! Freaking Dom Toretto in the Fast and Furious movies, and yet you're playing a tree and getting $1 million because of it. What a freaking world we live in, am I right? All for 5 shorts, which last at least 4 minutes. Marvel's got the money, see? They're not gonna die. They're never gonna die. This came out like a month after Secret Invasion happened. They're not gonna die. Period. Which leads us to Loki Season 2. It was immediately great. It was immediately great. Yeah, see, even he gets it. Cha-ching, cha-gin, ching. Woo! Anyway. Loki Season 2, back to the serious shit. That, I Am Groot, Season 2? That was goofy fun. Now, it's time to get in the actual Universal building. This show didn't even need to do it, but it did. For the 6 episodes it got, Season 2 completely blasted Season 1 out of the water in every single way. I gotta thank the directors and the writers, because they actually managed to continue a story which could have worked in the movie. But I thought it actually developed better here as a show. Loki Season 2 takes the MCU where, it hasn't really imagined before, but I'm not going to Star Trek your ass immediately, because I'm not like that. I go to see shows because I'm interested in seeing them. I go to see movies because I'm interested in seeing them, okay? Which leads us to Loki Season 2. Loki and all the other cast were spot on. Ke Huy Quan was a nice additional addition. And Owen Wilson had some pretty funny moments. The Loki variant now works with the Mickey D's. Why do you think we saw everything McDonald's related involving Loki Season 2? It was just a matter of time. Marvel was looking for something to advertise it by, and the actors couldn't do it because they were busy with a strike. Ha! Ha! Episode 4's ending, I didn't know what the shit was going to happen to these characters. By the time Episode 6 ended, I was in utter shock. This was possibly the best ending to any Marvel show this coming year. And in fact, I don't even think it deserves the great option. I think it deserves the masterpiece. Everybody's funny, serious, and the TVA just gets interesting. More interesting in this season than ever before, which is why I cannot wait to see what these writers and directors do next for Marvel. It is really deserved. And now, the Marvels. A movie nobody wanted to watch and suffered because of its actions. November was kind of a rough month for Disney, wasn't it? With the releases of Wish and the Marvels, they sunk so low into the box office grave. Of course, they still have money. They can repay for it. But after that, it was just a sit down and regroup session. It needed to be, at least. That being said, here's where the Marvels come in. I actually decided to see this movie out of pure luck. Because, again, as I said it before, I wanted to continue a cinematic universe. I didn't want to dodge it just by looking at the trailer. I don't dodge shit by looking at... actually, no, I do. But not when it comes to cinematic universes, because once I'm hooked, I'm hooked. I don't stop. Okay? The Marvels, as a continuing universe storyline, is pretty damn great. The Marvels as a movie, it's okay. If you really want to continue the cinematic universe, surprisingly, and this is the first time I'm ever going to say this, The Marvels is a movie to actually watch. There are a bunch of surprises, and if you watch the TV shows, boom, you'll understand it immediately. I watched every single TV show, and I understood it. Because I'm dedicated. Phase 4 actually got me, well, it's a Phase 3, yes, I missed it when it was just movies, but it did good. Did good. Phase 4 silently got me hooked on the MCU. Shang-Chi and WandaVision caused those little bumps to occur. Like, oh yeah, I like the cinematic universe now. The Marvels as a film is tolerable enough. Sure, it's a very, very short film for Marvel Studios. But if you really want to see 3 girls fighting on one no villain, congratulations, you got your wish. This movie is pretty good. The actors save it. The story is plain, meh, forgettable. The one-note villain is, was just there. I hate how her death happened. That wasn't a spoiler because you didn't care to go see the movie. You did not give two shits and would rather wait for it to be on streaming. Who expected that villain to really be there in the long run, didn't they? That's what this problem is. You're waiting. You're waiting for it to come out on streaming instead of just frickin' watching it. I don't care if you don't want to watch it because of a trailer. You saw one trailer, and what? That's it? You're not gonna fucking watch it? It's not their fault. It's not the director's fault. It's not the actor's fault. It's the marketing fault. They did that to themselves. Disney did that mostly to themselves. This film got a shit ton of marketing. And whether you wanted to or not, you had no choice. It was continuing a universe, and it did that pretty damn well. I know you guys don't even care about seeing this film, but in my honest opinion, see it. It's not a masterpiece like Loki Season 2. It's not great like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It is there in the air and somehow manages to continue this story perfectly. And if you want to see Brie Larson, Tiana Perez, and Amanda Delany, kicking ass, then congratulations, you got your wish. If you want to see Captain Marvel, Captain Rambeau, and Miss Marvel duking it out over people, so congratulations, you got your wish. And I think this was a better wish than Disney released. Ha! Can we get on with the final thing, please? Point is, go see the Marvels. Because theaters are likely less playing in your area now, you might want to watch it on streaming instead. Or just wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure with the release of the DVDs coming now, it's coming out in February. Besides, Oppenheimer. Let's be honest, that thing's still in theaters. Which then leads us to What If Season 2. I can't say it's bad. Can't say I don't like it. Can't say it's okay. I say it's great. Because I like this show. I really like this show. What If Season 1 is one of my favorite things from MSA, Marvel Studios Animation, as I'm going to call it now. And I was just excited to see Season 2 of this show. I really like this vast arrangement of different things you can do with the characters we've already seen. Sure, everybody's sick of multiversal stories. But I think this is really worthy and good. Everybody's saying the ending was shit. I'm not gonna lie. The ending was okay. We got this trend in Marvel now where we want to frickin' get everybody just frickin' where we want to get everybody powerful. And there are a lot of powerful beings in this show, but they're not going to appear in the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe. Captain Carter appeared in Doctor Strange too, but she died. She died after that. Meaning, there can only be one. Did I creep you out? I'm glad I creeped you out. Episodes 1 through 9, I am somewhat enjoyed. What was it? Episode 4? Episode list. Give me a minute. I'm gonna search it up real fast. Okay, we're gonna talk about the episodes because this is the final thing Marvel has to offer us this year. So, quickly, let's get into it. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the official series. But yeah, this is the official Wikipedia page. What if Nebula joined the Nova Corps? Okay start. I really liked how this continued her story and all the other stuff. What if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes? This was pretty okay in its opinion. I like how Peter's father returned. Kurt Russell actually returned as well because, let's be honest, Marvel's good like that. They just recast everybody like it's nothing. Well, unless their contract is broken. Or DJ. Anyway, I got to go for a second. Anyway, let's continue this quietly. I thought episode 3 was good. I thought episode 4 was good. I thought episode 5 was okay, not really that much to share. I wasn't really involved with the whole Black Widow plot at all. Episode 6 was actually pretty decent. I like the original Marvel stories, and I like how it was originally here. Episode 7, pretty good. Pretty good. I like hearing Shang-Chi stories out of all. One of the Avengers Assembled in 1602 was okay at best. And you know what? Now I'm going to change this reaction because it was also okay. Which means I have officially... What If Strange Supreme Intervened was good as well. Now, I'm sorry. Here's the final MCU ranking. It wasn't a bad or good roller coaster. It was an enjoyable one. And I'm curmudgeonly curious to see what happens now in the new year. Because we got Deadpool 3, we got Echo, possible What If Season 3. I like that. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching. We shall be closing the movie closet up now. We have finally entered into a new year. And thus, new movies to be shown. I'm glad you enjoyed with me on this trip. And if you'll excuse me, I got to go. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.